Hey guys, Sean Lentz here from Appalachian DIY. Today, we're going to be fixing this wooden garage door. So what we have here today is this bottom board has rotted out on this garage door, and it's attached to the bottom rollers. The one side has come off and the other side is still on. And with it leaning like this, it is flexing the wheel and not allowing the door to come down. So we need to replace this bottom board, get everything cut up and put back together. To keep the door in position, we just have it tied off with a ratchet strap and have it hooked to one of my rafters to keep it in place. The first thing that we're going to do is remove the board from all of the hardware holding it in place. Now that we got the board off, what we're going to do is take these rollers the rest of the way off, because we need to be able to cut the bottom of this door completely flush, get some of this rotted stuff off, and because some of these pieces have a taper to them because everything was recessed in that old board, so I want just a nice flat cut across the bottom. Now that we have all of our hardware off, we can go ahead and address some of the issues with the door right now. And that is, some of these panels are loose and they need to be pinned back in. So what we're going to do is get them back up into place and just take a staple nailer and nail through the sides here to keep these panels secure. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a circular saw and we're going to cut the bottom of this door off, because these strips right here, they have a bevel on them to accept the recessed boards. So we need to cut this flat so we can put our 2x4 flush underneath this. Alright, so we got done cutting the bottom of our door. It isn't perfectly straight, but don't really worry about that. Get it as close as you can. We couldn't snap a line because of these raised ridges on the door paneling. That would have made it a little bit more accurate, but we did the best we could. And we'll fix those little imperfections later. But right now we're going to just take this door panel, hinge it up like this, and I have a roller here. You can use a sawhorse. We're going to set that on, and then we're going to use a 2x4 as our bottom plate for the door as our replacement. It's nice and cheap and it'll work out great. So let's go ahead and put that on. Okay, so what we got right here is we have our door panel and their 2x4, and we already have our holes lined out, so we can just take our roller plate, align that, and we have a 1/4 inch, 2-inch bolt that we are going to put in from the outside of the door up through the plate. And then we have a washer and a nylon nut. So the next thing that we're going to do is, while we have this in place, we can go ahead and drill a hole for our bottom plate in through the roller plate, and we also have the option to do some screws to make it a little bit more sturdy. Alright, for this bottom piece, again, we're just going to put it through the front side of the door, right up through there. Washer and a nylon nut. So just like this is really set in with these two bolts. We're going to have no issues with this, but you can also utilize these holes here and just lay some screws in. Now we can move on to the next one. Now we can go ahead and place our roller back in. So as you can see here on the bottom of the door, we have a little bit of a gap in between our paneling and our lower 2x4. To address this issue, what we're going to do is we're going to cut little strips and just tack them in high enough where they cover the gap, and we can pin it to our paneling and down to our 2x4. That way no snow or water can get in. If you wanted to buy an option like that, you can just buy a 1/4 round trim and do the same thing on the bottom. So we cut our strip to a 1/2 inch high. We just cut these dividers up a little bit to recess it in. So all we got to do is take our strip and just place it in. Alright, so that fits nice and flush. That eliminates all of our gap that we had, so any imperfections that we didn't cut straight. It'll also allow for water and stuff to not get in here. We're going to do this exact same strip on the outside also. So what we're doing is just taking a board on the outside of our door to make it flush, and then just pinning our strip down. Now what we can do is we can take all of our trim pieces like our handle off and our weather stripping on our old board, and we can just put it right back onto our new one. Alright guys, so that wraps up this video. A couple things I want to address because I know I'm going to hear them in the comments below, and that's the wood that we're using. This is not pressure treated, it's just a straight 2x4. It's what I had laying around. I didn't want to go run to the store for one. And we used all of the weather stripping and stuff. It's not the best, but it's going to do for right now. We are going to paint this. I can't right now because it's about 20 degrees, so it ain't going to dry on here very well, but it'll weather through until we get a warmer day. We can paint this and then protect it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and head over to Appalachian DIY for more videos. Thanks again guys, and I hope to see you next time.